Microphone check. 1, 2, 3. Microphone check. I think it's just the speaker. I don't know what's going on, but I've been having microphone issues. I switched up the microphone source, and I still see it dropping out and coming back. So I think it's the software. It might be the OBS software tripping. So we're gonna try to see if I can re-record this video. This is the second time that I recorded this video because the last time I didn't have sound at all, so I didn't know what was going on. So, but we're gonna see what happens now if we're getting actual sound in the video. I am Dooley Godot, your weather forecaster today, and today we're gonna be talking about your weather forecast and how it went with the Hurricane Helene, as what we're seeing out there across the country. There's not a whole lot going on weather-wise from the west coast to the east coast. We do have the moisture and the remnants of Helene that's moving across the Ohio Valley and the Appalachian Mountain Range. So we're still seeing a lot of rain over the Carolinas, Tennessee, Kentucky, up through Virginia, Ohio, into parts of Pennsylvania, and across the mid-Atlantic overall. We're seeing a lot of rainfall out there. Still seeing some flooding, flash flooding. 53 people have died, according to sources from the effects of Hurricane Helene. Folks down in Florida, the Gulf of Mexico, people died in Georgia, the Florida Panhandle, people died in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky. A lot of roads getting washed out across Kentucky, Tennessee, across the Appalachian Mountains and the Smoky Mountains. A lot of roads have been getting washed out. So it's been a hot mess across the South, in the Southeast, and across Florida. So in the future, folks, now we're watching the tropics for the potential for another system that could develop next week. So if they tell you to get the fuck out, please take heed this time. On the big storms like this, don't play with these. You might be able to float by on a tropical storm, or whether maybe a Category 1. You might be able to tough it out. But storms like this are destined, if you stick around, Category 4, Category 5, those storms don't play. And Helene wasn't playing with your ass. That was some real shit. So if they tell you to get out of town like they tell you to. So, but we're going to go on with the weather forecast. We're going to talk about where is Helene now. So where is she now? Where's she now? She's still causing some problems out there. There's still some stuff going on with Helene. Helene is still dropping rainfall across parts of the mid-Atlantic. So we do have a slither of nice weather here in the northeast there. So they're high pressure, eastern Canada, and across New England. So Maine, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire do have some dry weather. But to the south, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, New Jersey, down through Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia right there. So we got a lot of rainfall still falling here, and temperatures are slightly cooler. A lot of temperatures in this green, where the rain is, are in the 60s. So we're seeing an area where it's cooler. But if you're in the dry spots, here, maybe here, temperatures are still in the 80s and 70s. It's really nice and warm out there today. But if you're in this area here, it's a little bit cooler because of clouds and rainfall. So you do have a lot of areas that are still in the 60s that are dealing with some rainfall and showers and things like that, okay? Here is where we're going to be starting to see some of that rain continue Monday through Tuesday over the same area, the mid-Atlantic, very slowly drifting around the remnants. This low pressure area right here that says low, this thing that says low pressure, this is what's left of the hurricane. This is the tropical, the remnants of Hurricane Helene is right there. So we're seeing a lot of rain to the east of the low here, kind of like it does with a hurricane, a tropical system. You see a lot of the energy to the east of the low because it's coming up from the south, so it goes to the east of the low. So we're still seeing a lot of rain for the east of the center of circulation. A lot of the heavier rains is here, Pennsylvania, northern North Carolina, Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia, maybe over to New Jersey as well. So we're seeing a lot of rain over southern upstate New York, the southern sections of New York State. So we're seeing a lot of rain here across the mid-Atlantic areas. And we're going to see that rain continue. But let's talk a little bit more about the tropics. This is what is left of the hurricane now as it moves. This is the remnants. So we're still seeing a circulation here. There's still rotating air here. And this is where all of that rainfall is currently falling over the mid-Atlantic and the Appalachian Mountains right now. So we're still seeing some active weather over the eastern U.S. into the mid-Atlantic and over towards the Northeast. And we're keeping an eye on the southern Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea because we do have the potential, but we have a pretty high risk for further development later this week. We do have from September 30th to October 5th where we can see in this red zone here the high likelihood of development of tropical nature. And then we have a medium risk for tropical development over this region right here, the Bay of Campeche, over this from Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula. So we can see in the Bay of Campeche, this is also where the meteor is that killed the dinosaurs. The meteor that struck the Earth that killed the dinosaurs landed in this region right here. So this is where we have a moderate risk for development later this week. So between October 1st and the 3rd, we're going to watch this area for the possibility of development, right? Moderate risk here, about 40%. But we got a 70% chance in this region for development from September 30th. Today is the 28th or the 29th. What's today? The 28th? The 28th. So from the 30th, which is Monday, through October 5th for development of tropical nature across this area here. So east of South Central America and down to North and South America and the Caribbean Sea up to Hispaniola. We have that potential there for tropical development. Okay, back here in the lower 48, for the most part, with the exception of flood areas across the mid-Atlantic and the Appalachian Mountains. So Tennessee, North Carolina there. So North Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia, Kentucky, right in this area here where we are seeing flash flood or flood warnings in place because of the rainfall. It's continuing to produce flooding, and we're seeing a lot of runoff over the mountains. We're seeing some showers and thunderstorms down here in South Florida. So it's flooding concerns across South Florida as well, from Miami to Fort Lauderdale and the Palm Beaches. So West Palm Beach down past Mar-a-Lago to Miami, we have the potential for flooding, and we also have the potential, we have some flooding here through parts of the Carolinas. So we're going to be seeing that. And then on the other colors here on this map, we have the this here is a not heat advisory, but what is it's a red flag advisory. So we got a giant ass red flag advisory here, central Montana, down through Wyoming, over through what is the state here? Idaho, through parts of. Then we got this blue here. In the morning, it's going to be really cold overnight, early in the morning here across the northern Rockies into Idaho, western Montana, northern Idaho, northwestern Montana. We're going to see in the northern Rockies, Glacier National Park, down through the Grand Tetons. Potentially, we're going to see very cold temperatures in the overnight. It's clear, but it's going to be very cold because of the light of warmth from the daytime escape into space when it's clear and low humidities, no moisture in the air, so it cools a lot faster in that situation. So we're going to see the potential for a freeze advisory or frost warnings here in the northern mountains of the northern Rockies, or where those light blue is. So it's going to be really cold at night. So if you camping or in the Rocky or in the cabin, you might want to start a fire or something in the fireplace. But if you got a cabin, open the flue. Make sure you have ventilation in the cabin if you don't have electricity, because I would love to have a cabin like that in the mountains in the Rockies, where I can have a cabin somewhere in the mountains that it doesn't have electricity like that, but you can kind of rough it in the cabin and have a fire in the fire, a wood burning stove or a nice fireplace or something like that. You know, you can kind of go up there and live like a doomsday prepper. You know, I would love to live that life of a doomsday prepper. Yeah, so they have a good ass time up there. So down here across Arizona, Eastern California, so Palm Springs, Indio, Indian Wells, Needles, down through Yuma, Phoenix, Gaylord, Arizona, down here across the southern Sonora Desert, the Mojave Desert is hot as shit. This is an excessive heat advisory, so warning, because it's 115 degrees in this region here. So it's hot as shit over Eastern California. So heat advisory across along the California Nevada border, and there's New Mexico. There is Las Vegas right there, Cook County. Not Cook County, Clark County. Las Vegas is Clark County. Cook County is in Chicago. Goddamn it, Clark County is where Las Vegas is, and it's so those temperatures about 105 to 110. But Yuma, southern Arizona, southwestern Arizona, Gila Bend, Palm Springs, Indian Wells, 29 Palms, Needles, Death Valley. It's 110, 115. It's really hot, really goddamn hot today across that region. So excessive heat is in place across that area. So outside of the areas where it's really freaking hot and the rain in the mountains out east, there's not a whole lot going on weather-wise across the 48 in general. But we do have our big trouble spots today. Temperature-wise is what we're seeing today. Here is where it's a little bit cooler because it's cloudy in that low pressure center and it's raining across this region. So I can see that I keep dropping off here. So I'm going to have sound problems. So I got to investigate to where the sound problem coming from. And I think it's the OBS software might need to be updated or reinstalled or something. But it's tripping on me. But maybe I'm going to not try to talk so loud. Maybe that could be the reason. But I switched microphones. So a different microphone. But I'm still seeing the same where it's dropping off. So hopefully I don't keep that going. But you can see on this map here, this where it's light white looking because it's hot here. It's hot across North and South Dakota, hot across Montana, Wyoming, northern Colorado is hot as shit. It's in the 90s. Hot across southern Texas today. These are 90s here across southern Texas. San Antonio down to Del Rio, Texas. Galveston, 90s. High across southwestern Texas. 80s here across the upper Midwest. In the Twin Cities, we're seeing temperatures in the mid-80s today. In the mid-80s on your Sunday, we're going to see a much of the same. Tomorrow looks much of the same, but that little pool of cooler weather moves further into the northeast because the majority of the rain is going to shift over there tomorrow. But everywhere is going to be in the 80s and 70s, maybe 80s. So it's going to be warm across much of the country and downright hot across Texas, the desert Southwest, the high plains, even parts of the Northwest, in the interior portions. Nice in Seattle and Portland. Temperatures are seasonal. But if you're in interior portion, in some areas it's going to be hot as shit. The desert Southwest is going to be very hot. In Yuma, again, Phoenix, east of Tucson, west of Tucson. Tucson is going to be about 102, so it's hot across the Southwest. This is your Monday forecast. Again, a little bit cooler weather coming down out of Canada across the northern Rockies. So this is going to be temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So a little bit cooler, but very hot still across the southwest. We're going to see some of that heat begins to retreat back towards California. So in the desert southwest of Arizona, the the Mojave Desert area, we're going to see the heat retreat back that way. And again, some of that warmth is shifting into the central plains. We're going to see a lot of 80s and 90s into the central plains. All the way up into the upper Midwest, even into Minnesota, we can see temperatures in the 80s into your low to mid 80s. So another nice warm day across much of the middle of the country. Very warm across the southwest, warm along the Gulf Coast. Again, the humidity in place, but mostly dry conditions. We'll see some thunderstorms, but no severe weather. Again, this is where the majority of the rainfall is today across the country and across Florida. We got your tropical showers over there. But here, we're dealing mostly with the remnants of Hurricane Helene. So we're seeing rain across the Ohio Valley into parts of the east. And again, no snow anywhere in the continental U.S. No ice either. So no snow, no ice in the forecast yet. This is our forecast for the next 3 or 4 days. We are seeing the remnants of Hurricane Helene eventually will go off the East Coast into the Northeast and the New England states, but we'll see those showers spread across the mid Atlantic to the mid Northeast and New England. We'll see some weak frontal boundaries bring that cooler air from the northern plains and northern Rockies later in the week. And it's going to be around with showers and thunderstorms across northern Minnesota. I don't think that's going to affect us here in the Twin Cities. I think that's going to mainly be north of the Twin Cities to Duluth and then across northern Wisconsin and across over into Michigan as well. We might see some showers and a thunderstorm or two as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. But no severe weather is expected and no snow expected here in the lower 48. But there could be some snow associated with some storm systems moving across Canada. So the far northern territories of Canada and the Hudson Bay area, and then across parts of the British Columbia, the mountains in the British Columbia, could see some snow as well. But in the continental lower U.S., we're not going to expect any snow at this time. Thunderstorm forecast today. Thunderstorms across Florida, some along the immediate coastal areas of the mid-Atlantic and the southeast, maybe some up here in the Ohio Valley near the Canadian-U.S. border, and another area of isolated thunderstorms right here near New Mexico and across the border into Colorado. Might see a non-severe thunderstorm. Tomorrow, no severe thunderstorms expected anywhere again. Maybe some isolated storms here across the Four Corners region, maybe into Utah, parts of Wyoming, southern Idaho. And again, the remnants of our hurricane will be making itself felt across North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia, maybe parts of southeastern Ohio, southern Pennsylvania. Could see a shower or thunderstorm. Florida, once again, some showers and thunderstorms. And then as we get into your Tuesday, showers and storms across Florida, the peninsula, right along the coastal areas of Cape Hatteras, could see some showers and thunderstorms. But for the most part, dry across the rest of the country, with the exception of that activity along the East Coast. But we don't expect any severe weather. And that is your weather forecast. And I know I got sound dropouts, so I'm going to have to work with it because I'm going to have to do a deep dive into the technical issue that's been happening. So hopefully on my next video, I will have resolved the technical issue with the sound. And this is the second recording of this video because of the sound issue. So hopefully, because I didn't have sound at all in the first recording, so but maybe this time I do. So and then, but yeah, I know it dropped out a couple of times. So, but anyway, thank you for watching this video. If I can post it, have a great day and a great day on your Sunday. And I'll try to do another video for you guys tomorrow. And guys, I promise to try to be more active at getting these videos. I've been prioritizing my schoolwork and my work for the government and stuff like that. So I've had to prioritize my time, and the videos is more of a hobby. So I have to do them when I have the time to do them, or when the weather is significant enough that I need to do them. So, but until we get the next video, have a great day and a great start to your Sunday and a great start to your upcoming work week and school week. Bye-bye, guys.